we haven't got the questions, so we're going to read them off the screen. We've got Luis Garcia here with us, Stevie and Shaka as well. Apparently they should be in the printer, so we could check out Shaka's pace.
I am walking.
What were your FIFA stats in pace, Shaka?
I was 98.
Have you ever
I was 98.
Have you ever seen a goalkeeper with pace?
But
Me?
Shaka, didn't you used to play...
I was very...
Didn't you used to
Did
play...
I walk in front of the camera there?
I thought you were
sorry
good
about
at
that.
Thank you, Shaka.
Go that way.
I'm not used to doing this. I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
First question is for Stevie. It's a very important one as well.
Uh-oh. Whenever Kate teased up a question like that, you know it's some nonsense.
Stevie, Liverpool's throwing coach has officially left the club. Is this the true signal that Liverpool's trophy window has completely closed?
I don't know. Did they get a trophy for being fuss and throw-ins or something in the Premier League, did they?
He said he was a crucial part of taking them from where he did to the position that they did.
Well, apparently, he's not that crucial anymore.
Well, we'll see. Time will tell, Stevie.
Well, hold on a sec. Let me just break this down really simply. Last week, when he was part of the coaching team, they lost 3 goals from throw-ins. This week, he's not part of the coaching team. Is that a coincidence, or...?
Is it a coincidence that they won a lot of trophies in the last 5 years?
Well, because of the throwing coach?
How can we say no?
Well, he was part of the team.
And no, he's not.
And I can assure you, not every team, not every single part of every team is that good.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Ah, goodness me.
I had people on my staff that weren't that great.
Did you have a throwing coach?
Didn't need one.
Maybe you
I had a
did,
player,
Steve.
let me tell you something, this is true. A player that played for me, who played for another MLS team after I got the sack, right, was part of Mr. Gronemark is his name? Thomas Gronemark?
Thomas.
Yeah?
Gronas, if you like.
Gronas. So the team he was playing with brought him in to do a session, or a couple of sessions with the team that this player that I used to have was on, and there wasn't one thing, not one thing, that he hadn't gotten from myself or Paul or any other coach in New England Revolution.
I don't know what that story has to do with anything, Steve.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, the question is he the reason why Liverpool won so many trophies? I'm just telling you that the stuff that he did with this ex-player of mine there was nothing new in it. There wasn't a thing he hadn't seen already.
So that ex-player was telling you this to make you feel better?
Why would I need to feel better about what?
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to move on.
Well, I'm just explaining to you. That's just a fact.
We understand. Luis, ahead of the Barcelona derby live on ESPN, could you tell what the stereotypical differences between a Barca and an Espanyol fan are? Are there any unique traditions to Derby Day, like in the Basque and Seville derbies?
Not really many differences. I mean, the Pericos from Espanyol, now with the new stadium, actually is quite fun to see them there because the atmosphere is good, but they don't have any kind of difference. I remember that when I was playing for Barcelona, playing against the derby, it's like when Real Madrid, back on the days, 10, a little bit more, 20 years ago, Real Madrid was going to play against Atletico de Madrid. You feel like you don't have chance. I mean, Real Madrid look down and say, with these kids, we're going to win at the end. Kind of is that feeling that for Espanyol it's a massive game, it's a big game, it's a derby. For Barcelona, it's a different feeling. So that's the only thing that it can make the difference. Always is like, how you say that the big one against the smaller one. And
David against Goliath.
It's kind of an easy one, but there is no anything serious in between the two teams. So nothing happening just before or after.
Big brother, little brother, maybe, where Barcelona are more the big brother and the little brother always wants to be there. Right.
We've had a very
That's the
biblical
one.
show today. We've had David, Goliath. We even had a Samson in there. Man, Samson get a mention at one point.
Of course, from Stevie.
I was like, what?
Couldn't Adam and Eve it? All right. For Shaka, I was driving behind a Maserati and had to honk at the driver to step on it. Did this ever happen to you?
Not to me. No.
Did people used to stop on the street and go, wow?
No, that never happened. Our car was fun though, and there weren't many of them on the road. So, yeah.
How long do you have it?
I had it. Let me see. I bought it 2000 thereabouts, and I sold it probably about. And I sold it when I came here, so 6 years.
Luis, were you a big timer like Shaka? We've asked the panel before what the best car they ever had was, or what their favourite car was. What about you?
I got a DB9, an Aston Martin DB9.
See? That's even.
That's
that's
the best
big
car.
time.
I
That is
bought it
big
when I
time.
was
Big
at
time.
Liverpool.
That is big time. Yeah, see?
Okay, Luis wins.
Luis
Good old
is the
days.
biggest. Luis is the biggest time.
Yeah.
For all, KDB now or Steven Gerrard in his prime, who's your choice?
Jeez. Oh. Hold on. They have to pick Steven Gerrard almost by default because we know Steven's relationship with Liverpool periodicals. If he says otherwise, they'll pick up on that.
No, not at all. I would have said Steven Gerrard anyway.
I'm just it, well, see?
Well, because if you're playing for Manchester City, Steven Gerrard absolutely could play the role that Kevin De Bruyne played. Kevin De Bruyne couldn't do the job that Steven Gerrard did in the team that Steven Gerrard was in. But Steven Gerrard did a lot defensively. So Kevin De Bruyne couldn't do the stuff that Gerrard had to do in that team. So you got to go for Steven Gerrard because he would be able to do what De Bruyne is doing now.
Does Luis agree?
100% spot on. I mean, I've seen Steven Gerrard playing as a fullback for 35, 40 minutes. And I saw him playing as a second striker, and I saw him playing as a midfielder. I saw him playing as a winger, left winger. So I think that Kevin De Bruyne is probably one of the best midfielders in the world, or creative midfielders in the world. And on the history of the game, fantastic with the ball on his feet. But tracking back, going back, leading the team from the back is not something that kind of we see him every single day. And Steven Gerrard have done it for so many games for Liverpool.
Should we leave it with the Liverpool lads, Shaka?
Yeah, well, I'll hasten to add that Kevin De Bruyne never scored in me. The fact that he was 3 years old when I retired has got absolutely nothing to do with that stat.
Who's your favourite? For Stevie, we've actually got a few questions in from your entourage tonight. This is from your makeup artist. For Stevie, would you rather have Caicedo or McAllister at Liverpool next year, or would you prefer another option?
No, I'll take McAllister.
I'm laughing because you always wish and say that he's Scottish. And
Well, he
he's
is
not.
Scottish, though. But he is.
And I think his roots actually go back to Irish roots and not Scottish. I'm sorry to inform you.
Explain his Scottishness again.
His parents' heritage comes from Scotland via Ireland across the Argentine. So there you go. Take that.
I love that he loves this player so much. He's decided he's Scottish.
They were going to Argentina and had a stopover in Ireland.
So McAllister.
I didn't decide he is.
So the Scottish World Cup winner McAllister would be your choice.
Yes.
All right. Next question is from your mint stealer.
All right.
What a job he has.
I had mince for my lunch today.
What a shock. Would you rather be a substitute player for a great team who won trophies, or a regular starter for a mid-table team that did not?
That's a good question.
You can answer that, Shaka.
Oh, but it's from Stevie's mint stealer.
Yeah, we'll get to him.
I will say it depends on what stage of my career I'm in. If I'm in the prime of my career, I'd prefer to be playing. not necessarily winning trophies. If I'm coming to the end of my career, I'm quite happy sitting on the bench picking up win bonus.
Aye, it's not quite straightforward. It's not quite, so, if you're a substitute in a team and you don't play, you know yourself that you didn't really do it. You know what I mean? Whereas somebody like Origi.
All right, what if you're Nacho at Real Madrid?
I'd move.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'd move.
Yeah. See, the problem is, it's a personal thing. Some people will look at it and say, well, you know what, I didn't even kick a ball, so they will in themselves know that they didn't have a lot to do with it. And so they'll...
But it depends what type of substitute you are.
Yeah.
It depends what type of character you are.
And also, Nacho's picked up trophies as a substitute already. You know, at some point you have to think, well, time for me to move on and play more regularly.
Let's ask Louise, would you rather be a substitute player for a great team who won trophies or a regular starter for a mid-table team that did not?
I will compete for a place. I think that in your career you find always a manager that doesn't count with you or something, but the shortcut to, I don't know, I'm going to go to a lower division or I'm going to go to a different team just to play, I will compete. I will try to compete at that team.
Okay. Well, that was a nice question from Stevie's Mint Stealer. And that was the final
That
question.
was a nice question.
Yeah, I'm running it.
All right. Can't wait to see if there are more of Stevie's
on his email
entourage
for me.
tomorrow. We need Stevie's throwing coach next. All right, that will do it for the latest edition of Extra Time. We'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. Make sure to join us every single day on ESPN+.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.